Life.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our quick, refreshing, rejuvenating postural workout routine session. So today we're going to get right into it. I had a really good question yesterday from my cousin Marcel, and he is experiencing, sorry, I was just doing some push-ups to try to look more strong. Now I'm out of breath. He asked a really good question about when he's sitting in his desk working on his computer. He's a pastor overseer at a church, so he does a lot of work, and he has a business too. Check him out. It's you can see him in yesterday's thread, Marcel. So he asked about he's getting upper mid back pain right up there, and that's pretty common to get upper back pain or neck pain when we have to sit at the computer for extended periods of time. So what can we do about that? Definitely there's a sequence of postural exercises we can do, and the sequence would be very important, and we could really get after this problem if I was able to look at his posture at the desk and analyze his posture standing, and we could get down into specifics. But there's also definitely things that will help to combat that kind of pain we get in the neck or upper back from having to type. And sometimes it's hard because we get stuck and we have to work so hard, and we're at the computer and we're stuck in that position. So if we can learn how to weave in healthy postural habits as we're at the desk and throughout the day, we're going to combat those positions that give us pain. So first I'm going to hit you with a sequence, and we've done a sequence before for at the desk. But I think it's important to get away from the desk and have regular periods. Even though it kind of breaks our workflow, we have to remember that will get us into a better postural position when we're sitting there and refresh us, so we'll do better quality work. So the first one, we're going to go right into the easiest counter of rotation, because a lot of times the pain up here is because we're getting too much work and not enough work and rotation in our hip area. So we're going to go right into static back. Let's see, I'll go static back. This is the simplest, most effective exercise. I know this looks like we're laying on the ground, but remember, this is an exercise. It is forcing our back muscles into position, our hips into position, our head into position, and it is just countering all of those bad habits we get into when we're Grandpa's just settled into a nice static back over there. That is just beautiful. Yeah, he's the model today. That's looking great. That's a great static back. Notice he's got his rear all the way up to the edge there, and he is very straight right now. Don't worry about the knees and the legs so much. We're just going to let those do what they want to, because we're focusing on the head, the shoulder load joint, and the hips load joint. Those are the three areas we're focusing on here. So we want to go ahead and do the regular big belly breathing. So we want to let that belly, with our mouth closed. Grandpa is getting real good at this one. I can tell he's been putting some work in here. And then maybe after a few of those breaths, we're going to go right in to pullovers. So you're going to bring your hands together. Grandpa does good pullovers. We're going to keep the bottom of the hand. Oh, Luke is over here doing well, look at this one. This guy, I can tell, Kai's coming in giving his brother a hard time. I can tell his back into his hips, into his shoulder. There he goes, a yawn. See, you will find, I'm going to tell you a secret in this position right here. Grandpa, go ahead and just let your hands go where you feel like they should go right now. If you feel tired, a lot of times, if you just put your hands where you want, if you end up putting them on your stomach, can you put them on your stomach like this, and you feel like that's good, a lot of times that's a little secret that you're probably tired and you need to take a quick little static back nap. All right, so the next thing we're going to go into is we're going to do the upper spinal floor twist. So Grandpa, if you can lay on your side. It may have been a while, I'm not sure if you've done this one. I think I did ask you before. Yeah, he's got it. And then if you can bring your knees up at a 45-degree angle, this right here, like this. There we go. Yeah. And then You're going to try to keep everything here in place. Yeah.
Oh, like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go. Good idea. Right. That's awesome. And you're going to go and you're going to look at the hand that's held out, and this arm's going to go into the field goal sort of position. Yeah. Any pain there, Grandpa? Feel good? All right. Just look towards that hand the best. You're right. Since he's on the right side, the hand that's extended, opposing where your knees are. You're going to go this direction. There we go. He's looking good. Oh. Now, the really important thing here is you want to breathe all through your core, like you're just bringing in oxygen into your core. So this one is just awesome to work on that connection that gets bunched up. Nice job, Luke Hannon. Outstanding. This is going to help us get some release in that area that gets bunched up. Ooh, look at how far he can turn his head. That's a lot further than I can. That we get from sitting too much right in here. So we're unhinging some things. Sorry for tickling you. And we're also giving some release. And so we're going to spend about a minute or two in this position, and then switch to the other side. So you're going to put your legs on the other side, Grandpa. And I'm going to tell you a couple of there's a lot of benefits to this that are going on here, but I don't want to get into too much time. We're also benefiting our organs in terms of the liver, the kidneys. We're working on the liver, the kidneys, and the pancreas. So this is all in this area, and your diaphragm. So if you're cinched and sitting all day long, if you sit in this position and you're posturally compromised, you're at risk for also reducing how the flow and how of those organs in your stomach area are working. So this is a great one to not only get our digestion going a little bit better, but also to get that blood flowing a little better, nutrients getting into our body, and just getting that whole circulation flow throughout in our entire body before we turn back to sitting. So it gives us a great postural benefit to combat that upper back pain or mid back pain or neck pain that you get from sitting, or sometimes even shoulder pain from sitting like that. So we're going to come up from this position, and I'm going to demonstrate the last one here, because now we're going to return back to the desk, and I'm still continuing to think about the upper back plane that Marcella had mentioned. I think that's a very common thing, especially now that a lot of us have had to work more from home. Myself, I've had to work, I think, more from home than before, and not being able to work in a variety of places has made it more of a challenge. So definitely for a lot of us, we're not only having to work more from our desk, but also from just one spot, so we don't get that variety that we might have gotten before. So we're going to go into the seated cats and dogs. We've done the cats and dogs on the floor before, but this is a nice one that you can do after this, or you can kind of weave in these exercises while you're working. So the cats and dogs, we're going to sit up just like this. We're going to get our shoulders back and down, and this is the posture I recommend to try to sit in as much as possible while you are working, which gets very difficult and it'll get tired, but the more we sit in this position and we think about the muscles all the way in our back, our paraspinals and everything, the muscles on our back, if you sit in here, you're probably going to feel your hip flexors working. We want to feel those hip flexors working equally on both sides, and the muscles in your back equally on both sides too. Shoulders back and down, get that nice little arc in your back. Nice smile on your face. Grandpa's got a great one going there. Man, you guys are on point today. Look at this guy. Luke Hannon's looking pretty crazy there. Oh, I like it, man. Good attitude. All right, so now we're going to go into the cats and dogs. Now we want to try to not bend at our waist like this. But when we go into the kitty cat, we don't want to bend. We want to make this lower back rounded. So we're just going to go put our shoulders, scrunch up, and you should feel work in your abdominals. Just like this. So you're going to get into this position. You don't want to bend over too much. You don't want to just bend, but we want to do one of these cats right up into here. And then you're going to go into the dog. And you're going to pull your shoulders back and down, just like this. Yeah, Grandpa's got it. We're going to pull them way back. We're gonna pull those shoulders way back, keeping that arc in our lower back. Yeah, Grandpa's looking great. Knees and feet forward as much as you can. And then we're gonna go right back into the kitty cat again. We're gonna go just forward like this, right into that kitty cat, and then back again. Yes, so you can go through those 5 to 10 times, and we're gonna give ourselves a finish here. Is we're gonna go, and you can, this is one I advise doing several times throughout the day. This is a good individual one, but it's a nice finisher for this change to combat upper back, upper mid back, and neck pain. Go right into this. Now the real important part is, you see, Grandpa's doing a great one here, is to really push these shoulders down towards your rears. So you want to, while you're in this position, just see if you can drop them.
That's about as far
as where do you feel the work in your back right now?
Right in the upper part.
Right in the upper part. So this is going to be different for everyone. If you're, a lot of times if you're either weak or overworked in your upper back, that can give you pain, one or the other. So when you're in this position, if you feel muscles start to trigger, which may be on just one side, you may get a cramp. Now, a lot of times we don't like cramps, but in this case, if we're posturally set and we get a cramp, I advise to move towards that cramp. And a lot of times, it's gonna, if you count backwards from 60, usually in 60 to 90 seconds, you will get a release. That muscle will bunch up. It'll get, you might have to work up towards the pain kind of situation of being in that cramp. But once it releases, you're gonna get a nice effect of muscle release as your body shifts back into position. It is a nice way. What I do is I coach us becoming the experts of our body in learning how to correct our pain issues. I want to teach it, but I don't want to be the one you have to rely on and go to get my adjustments. You can do your own adjustments right at your desk by using these principles. So a little bit longer today, but really loved the question, and you know, it's I think it's an important one right now as we think about that we've had to sit more. So everybody, thank you so much. Would love to see more questions and feedback. Love you guys. Let's go. Rise up. See you soon.
Thank you, Mama Ara, for the